Hey guys, I just wanted to try to give you guys a little bit of, I guess, a way for you to kind of test yourself on the topics that could possibly show up on this AP Calculus exam. Remember, they told you that it's only going to be a 45-minute FRQ exam online, so they're going to trust that you have, you're just working on this on your own. Also, I do want to remind you guys that they may have you use that online testing program that I sent for you guys on your Google Classroom. There's a link there. So make sure you guys download that testing program because that may be the secure browser they use. Now, what I've done so far is I just logged myself in. Okay, so you can see it says Welcome George over here. And what I want to do is I want to try to go to a question bank. So I'm going to kind of go to the classes, and over here for mine, it shows, my AP classroom for periods 2, 4, and 3. So I'm going to kind of come over here on this side, and I'm going to touch the AP classroom link. I think you guys have that same link on your page. So once I click on that, it's going to send me over to a different website. It says, wait till I'm being logged in. I'll click that off, and well, for you guys right now, it shows you what I see, which is how many people have done stuff, how many people have not done stuff, how have you performed, etc. But up at the very top, there's this thing right here that says question bank. So I'm going to click on question bank. Now, we got an email that told us what subjects Calculus AB was going to have. So here's what I'm going to do to set this up, because right now you notice there's a total of 2,925 questions you can just practice on yourself. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to Units and Topic, and according to the email, it says that Calc AB and BC will have to do Units 1 through 7. So I'm going to click on 1, and then let me go up, 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5, 6, and 7. All right, so now that I've done that, you're going to notice the questions went down from like 2,900 to 2,192, and you're thinking, oh, well, that's great. Well, we're going to bring that down to about 500 something. Don't worry about the practice and skill, but assessment, purpose, and source. So we want it to be AP exam. Okay, so you click on AP exam for that one. So notice now there's only 1,394. Exam alignment, we want it to be perfect to the test. Okay, like just like the test would make it. So now we're at 993. Test security, we're going to go with publicly available. Okay, and then question types, only FRQs. Okay, we only want FRQs. So we're at 524. Okay, so that means that now all you have to do, now that you've done this, it keeps the questions in the order in which they came, and you can actually just preview. So notice we'll be able to preview something like, I don't know, let's see, right here, preview this one. So let's see what it comes out to in terms of the preview. All right, so this question right here, I just want to show it to you. We're not going to actually go through the process and do it, but I want you guys to see what you can do so that when you try these questions on your own, you can do the work on a piece of paper instead of having to worry about putting it in here. Or maybe you want to try to type it out so you can get used to the way it's going to be online. But here's what I want you guys to notice. On the very right side over here, it says questions and scoring details. So obviously they're telling us a cylindrical can of radius 10 millimeters used to measure rainfall in Stormville. The can is initially empty and rain enters the can during a 60-day period, so from 0 to 60 days. The height of the water in the can is modeled by the function S, where S of t is measured in millimeters and t is measured in days from 0 to 60. The rate at which the height of the water is rising in the can is given by S of t. So S prime, I think that is. I'm not sure if that's S prime of t or just S of t, but I think it is S prime of t. Now, according to the model, what is the average rate of change in the height of the water for the can over 60 days? Now, I do want you guys to come over here. I want you to notice something really quick. Now, right here on the right side, it tells you that it's a unit 2, defining average and instantaneous rates at change at a point. Okay, what practice skills they are, the assessment, where they came from, etc. Okay, and then on this side, they show you kind of like a score. Okay, on the left side, scoring guideline. So part B, this is just part B of a specific problem. You're supposed to be able to do that. You're supposed to be able to get 1 point by using the mean value theorem and get that answer. Okay, and they'll show you how to do it. Okay, all the work required in order for you to do it. Now we'll look at a different question here. Let me get rid of this one. And let's look at, let's look at a graphical one. So it's going to pop it up for us. So here it is. Let g be a continuous function with g of 2 equal to 5. The graph of a piecewise linear function g prime is given. The derivative of g, right, shown above from -3 to 7, etc. So find the average rate of change over the interval. So remember, average rate of change. Remember, it's not average value. It's average rate of change, average derivative. So that's the mean value theorem. Then they ask you, does it apply, etc. If you click on scoring details, it'll tell you this is topic 5 and topic 2, specifically using the mean value theorem. And if we kind of move up a little bit right here, it'll show you like, oh, this was part D of a problem. And this is the way you would do it. Okay, and they tell you like how many points do you want. Like, let's say if you got no points, then you know, this is exactly what you did. Like, you didn't do anything for it. But if you got 1 point, 1 point for the following, 2 points for earning everything here. So it'll show you different things like that. So remember, for calculus AB, all right, you have to set up everything up here that I did. Okay, like the unit topics, you want it to be 1 through 7. The exam purposes, you want to make sure it says AP exam. The exam alignment to be perfect. The security to be publicly available. And then the question type, it's for FRQs only. If I click on it, you'll see FRQ, FRQ, okay? So those are the questions. Now you could do multiple choice if you want, but they're not going to show up on the test. But the multiple choice questions will help you in just practicing more things. And remember, once you go to preview, so here's one of them that I have for preview. Notice this is a full question. Okay, we actually did this one in class. It's one of the ones we did in class, so you might recognize it. The one that had like g of 2 equal to h of 2 equal to 4, and we were wondering why is that all given. But notice there's part A, part B, and part C, and part D for this thing. Okay, so if you want, you can start that one off. You go over here to questions and scoring details. It'll tell you you're doing units 1, 2, and 4. And then if you scroll down, all the way down, it'll show you, okay, part A is worth 1 point, and here's what gives it to you, the answer. And the solution was 2 over 3. Part B was worth a total of 3 points, and here's how you get those 3 points. The form of a product rule, A prime of X, A prime of 2. Part C was considered 4 points. Okay, part C was considered 4 points, and they show you all the solutions for it. Okay, everything from beginning to end. And then you can look at part D, and that was only 1 point. They tell you what and the justification, you know, what you do and justify it, etc. So you had to do all that stuff. Okay, so if you're in AB, then you can stop the video now. If you're in BC, you're going to keep going, because I just want to show you guys how to further specify your topics. So for Calculus BC, you have to include topic Unit 8. So we're going to go back to Units and Topic and include 8. And then they also include 5 topics in Unit 10. Okay, so we're going to go over to Unit 10. and they said 10.2, 10.5, 10.7, 10.8, and 10.11. Okay, so we are going to include those extra 5 topics in Unit 10 and all of the topics in Unit 8. Okay, notice how your total number of questions went from 524 to 698. There's nothing I can do to make this smaller. The number of questions doesn't mean that you guys have 698 questions. It's just 698 parts. Okay, so you don't actually have 698 total questions, just 698 parts, because sometimes they'll take one question. Let's say question 1 has 4 parts, so then that'll be 5 different questions that the AP will call it, because they'll call it the full question is one question, or else they'll say, well, let's break it apart. So part A is one question, part B is one question, part C is one question, part D is one question. So it'll say, oh, that's 5 total questions, even though they all belong to one question. Okay, but this is a way that you guys can kind of create your own question bank so that you know what to study in terms of the FRQ. I know that's a lot, but if you really want to put some time into studying, right here they'll not only give you the questions, they'll give you the rubric, they'll give you the scoring guidelines and the solutions, so you can kind of see how they're done. So hopefully this is helpful for you guys. If you need any help, please send me a message. All right, have a good day.